Welcome back to the AAF Simulated on EA Sports, and today it is going to be a fun one. The final game for the Birmingham Iron and the Orlando Apollos here in Week 10, and the fun thing is, this might be a little bit of a playoff preview here because both these teams will be playing in the first round of the playoffs. Orlando and Birmingham have both clinched the playoffs. And we welcome you right now to Birmingham, where the hometown Iron look to clinch the number 1 seed in the division, so they would have home field advantage in the first round. However, if Orlando does come out with a win today, they will have a better conference record. Both these teams would have split their showdowns in the season, so Orlando would get home field position. So whoever comes out on top essentially locks up having home field in the first round, but it won't really define what actually happens in the playoffs because, of course, teams probably are not going to be playing as high intensity today as they will be sometime next week whenever these teams play in the playoffs. So Birmingham, they've had a pretty great season. They're 6-3 right now, looking to go out on a high note here, finish the season 7-3, go into the playoffs with momentum. Meanwhile, Orlando had a bit of a shaky season, 5-4, some ups, some downs, but ultimately they're in the playoffs, and that's all that matters. Oh boy, that is not the type of glitch that I want to see. Anyways, Elliott Fry sends it away, and this is not a great start when it comes to my production. Luis Perez coming out onto the field, and he has had a pretty solid year all around for the Birmingham Iron, throwing for 2,172 yards, which is the second most of any quarterback in the league, 14 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, QB rating of 97.1. Now, what's key to note here is that he had 7 interceptions to the last in the first several weeks, and only a couple in the last few. He's really cut down on the turnovers. He's made much better decisions as of late, and last week was not the greatest win for the Iron, a 12-3 win over Arizona, but it really showcased their defense and how good they are. 1st and 10 now from the 25-yard line. And they're going to give the ball to Trent Richardson, who's got a huge hole to open things up. Trent Richardson up to the 37-yard line. And back in Week 5, Trent Richardson absolutely destroyed the Orlando Apollos. He ran for 126 yards and a touchdown. The Apollos had 0 answers for him. And speaking of Richardson, he's just had an absolute monster season. Just look at these stats right now. He's got 746 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns on the season, averaging 5.6 yards a carry, and it's going to be a battle between him and Dearness Johnson, who's on the Apollos today, to see who will end up on top for the whole season. Perez to throw on 1st down. He's got a man open. It's Damian Washington, and that's going to be another 1st down for this Birmingham group. Oh, actually, it'll be 2nd and inches. But Damian Washington has been one of those wide receivers that has created a lot for this offense. With Damian Washington right now on the season with 561 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's been one of Perez's favorite targets, and I expect to see a lot of him today. 2nd and inches now for this Iron group already at midfield. Off-play action, Perez rolling out. Deep across the middle, he's got his man. That's Quentin Patton into Orlando territory and down at the 42, so the Iron coming right out of the gate with some impressive looking offense, and you'll have to see it. Tim Lewis, head coach of the Birmingham Iron, he has done just such a fabulous job of creating this type of energy for this offense, starting with the run, getting Perez going in play action. They've been fun to watch all season, and as we head into the playoffs, they'll be even more fun to watch. And there goes Richardson, another 1st down run for Richardson. He's got 25 on the day on just 2 carries. The Birmingham Iron, we know how deadly that run game is. Trent Richardson, one of the best in the league, if not the best. And a wide open hole. Look at the way the offensive line gives him enough space for him to just burst through, pick up another 1st down. And Orlando, very similar to how things looked in Week 5. No answers so far. Again, whoever wins this game gets home field advantage in the first round, so it's pretty important. Richardson on the ground, and this time finally not a 1st down, but it's still a great run. Let's take a look at this offense for Birmingham. As we mentioned, this offensive line playing pretty dang good. Trent Richardson on the ground has been absolutely fantastic. And let's look at some of these wide receivers and tight ends. Wes Saxton leading the Birmingham Iron in the wide receiver category despite being a tight end. 606 yards on the season, averaging 15.9 yards per reception. He's got 3 touchdowns. He's been outstanding. We also got some other big names over here like Jamal Robinson with 403 yards and 2 touchdowns. 2nd and 8 now from the 27. On the ground, they stick with Richardson. Another nice hole, and he'll bring it to the 22-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and 2. Let's look at this Orlando defense. They've got some big names here, especially on the line. Leon Orr, Giorgio Newberry, Earl Okine, all fantastic. Jim Banks also there, not mentioned. We got Ryan Davis and Terrence Garvin, who have been phenomenal in the linebacker core, and Marquez White and Will Hill, Cody Riggs. Those are 3 guys that have been doing it week in and week out for this Orlando group, and right now an opportunity to get a stop on 3rd and 2, which would at least keep Birmingham to a field goal after the impressive drive they've had so far. And last week it was Cody Riggs who had 2 interceptions against San Diego in a 40-17 victory for Orlando that ultimately clinched him into the playoffs. On 3rd and 3, it's Perez rolling out off play action, and that ball is knocked away. Impressive defense, Mark Myers Jr. So Orlando's defense will hold up. This is just an excellent read here by Mark Myers, knowing they're going straight for Colin Thompson there, and it holds him to a field goal. Nick Novak for a 39-yard field goal attempt in this rain. Give him a 3-0 lead. Kick is on its way, and it is through. Birmingham takes a 3-0 lead here early. A nice drive. Probably a bit disappointing that they had to settle for 3, but nonetheless, they get points on the board. Good way to start. Tim Lewis really got Trent Richardson going in that opening drive, and that is going to be so clutch for them throughout the rest of this ball game. And now we turn to Steve Spurrier and his Orlando Apollos, a team that we really expected to be better at this point in the season. They're 5-4. Of course, they're in the playoffs, and that's all that matters because anything can happen in the playoffs. But definitely expecting to see them have some more wins. I think one of the more shocking losses was in Week 4 when they dropped to 2-2. The Salt Lake Stallions beat them 32-8, and that was when we really started to realize that the Salt Lake Stallions might just be the best team in the league, and they certainly have looked like it at 7-3, and they've got home field advantage in the playoffs as well. They'll be playing either San Diego or Arizona, whoever ends up winning that game. Akeem Hunt on the return brings it up past the 30 and up to the 33-yard line. So that's where Orlando's offense will get set up with the football, and we'll see how they do. An interesting decision here by Steve Spurrier. They're going with Kevin Anderson. If the name sounds familiar, that's because he played for the TSL Conquerors the last couple of years, and now getting a start in the AAF Simulated. You might be wondering, this is important. Home field advantage is important. Why are we seeing the backup instead of Garrett Gilbert, who's had an excellent season? And the reason is simple. Steve Spurrier says he likes where his offensive unit is at right now. Home field advantage is important, but it's not worth losing Garrett Gilbert, so he is going to sit Gilbert today, just that way does not risk an injury or anything crazy happening right before the playoffs. He has his focus a little bit more on the postseason than what is going on currently right now. Kevin Anderson back to throw for his first pass ever in the AAF Simulated, and it is inaccurate and will fall incomplete. Let's take a look at this Orlando offense. Offensive line been playing pretty solid all year long, and Dearness Johnson, the running back, someone I really want to talk about. He's got 793 yards in the season, averaging 5.3 yards per carry, 6 touchdowns. He's been just one of those go-to guys. And then in the passing game, he's also made an impact. See if I can find him over here. Yeah, he's got 105 yards in the passing game as well, closing in on 1,000 for the season if he can reach that today. 2nd and 10. They go on the ground, and there's Johnson cutting through a lane. Look at the moves by Johnson. That's a first down carry up to the 44-yard line. And speaking of this offense, these wide receivers have been spectacular. Charles Johnson, one of Garrett Gilbert's favorite weapons on the season. Trying to find the stats right here. He's got 583 yards and 5 touchdowns. It's been spectacular for this group. Sean Price, the tight end, 421 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's been a big red zone threat for this team as well. And we'll see how they get utilized today by Kevin Anderson. 1st and 10, staying on the ground, and look at Johnson just sifting through some defenders and picking up a gain of 7. It takes them into Birmingham territory. And so far, similar stories to this game for both teams. Trent Richardson got things going on the ground, and now so is Dearness Johnson. Now, the big difference here, Luis Perez is definitely a bit more of a seasoned quarterback in this league, and we saw it on that opening drive. Kevin Anderson, so far, he'll take it himself. Look at him go. The backup quarterback scrambling for 8 yards, and that's a first down. Takes him to the 41-yard line. So Kevin Anderson showing he's got some wheels. And you love to see that confidence from a guy who hasn't seen playing time all year long for good reason. Garrett Gilbert's been, again, outstanding at the quarterback position. But this is a guy who I really could see maybe getting a starting opportunity on another Alliance team if we decide to do a year 2, or if we switch back to the XFL. Definitely could see his name in there as well. There's also, I can't say too much right now, but there's certainly a lot in the talks right now for what we're going to do with this league once this season is over. Dearness Johnson once again on the ground. That's a gain of a few. And let's take a look at this Iron defense, who has also been pretty solid this season. Ricky Hadley, Devin Taylor, Casey Sales, all guys that we call every single week. Benicus Brown, has had an underrated season at the linebacker position. He's been fantastic. Elijah Campbell, Jack Tocho, a couple great safeties, along with Bradley Silv, the cornerback position. In Birmingham, we look at how good their defense was this past week especially. Arizona is a very hot offense, and they were held to only 203 yards on offense. Only 3 points. 2nd and 6, and there goes Anderson again, trying to find an angle, and he stays on his feet, breaking that tackle. How about that? Elijah Campbell could not bring him down the backfield, and it'll bring up 3rd and 1. Some fun stuff in this pre-playoff game. Meanwhile, Birmingham, they struggled on offense last week, only got 231 yards, and they only had 12 first downs, but they got the win. They won 12-3, and it was that defense again. Benicus Brown leading the way with 9 tackles and a sack. Jamar Summers, 5 tackles and an interception. It's a tough group. 3rd and 1. Anderson to throw. He's got his man. It's complete. Jalen Marshall, and then it's Anderson's first completion of the entire season, coming in week 10. To that man right there, Jalen Marshall. And that's just a nice play right there. On 3rd and 1, his second pass attempt of the day, just in rhythm, finds Marshall across the middle, picks up a first down, keeps the drive alive. Maybe we'll get him into a bit of a rhythm. Again, this is going to be a game for Anderson that will showcase what he can do and maybe get him something down the road. And if Garrett Gilbert, this would suck, but if he did end up going down next week in the playoffs, it'll at least give Anderson some reps to be prepared for that. How about Casey Sales? We just talked about him earlier, looking at the Irons defense and showing up in a big way right there. Dearness Johnson gets blown up immediately. Birmingham, this defense, I've said it before, I'll say it again, they are tough. 2nd and 11 coming up for these Apollos. Knocking on the door of the red zone if they can pick up some more yardage. And they go back on the ground. Johnson running into men and then taking down the 21-yard line. Oh, that was Akeem Hunt. And that'll bring up 3rd and 7. Casey Sales again with another tackle. He's been making plays on this opening drive. 3rd and 7 coming up, and we'll see what Steve Spurrier decides to do. Kevin Anderson going to be faced with a big throw right here. All receivers spread wide. See what Anderson can do. Back to throw. He's got time. Going towards the end zone. It's knocked away. Excellent defense by Birmingham. Elijah Campbell does not let it get to Charles Johnson, and then it'll bring up 4th down. Elijah Campbell does such an excellent job of sitting on this football, knowing exactly where it's going, getting there. Look at that. That's not a badly thrown football, but Johnson, not enough room in the back of the end zone. Campbell knocks it away. And it looks like Orlando will have to settle for a field goal as well here in this rainy Birmingham atmosphere. 38-yard field goal attempt for Elliott Fry. Kick is on its way, and it is right through, and we're tied at 3 with 3 seconds left to play in the first quarter. How about that? 3-3-3. Elliott Fry, he's been a great kicker for the Orlando Apollos this season. He's knocked through some long ones. He's been very efficient, generally speaking. And last week, he was 2 for 2. Week before that, a tough loss to Memphis, but he was also 2 for 2 against Atlanta all the way back in week 7. Knocked the field goal through there. He's just he's now 6 for 6 on his last 6 attempts. And kickers have been kind of the story of this league sometimes. We've seen Nick Novak struggle. We've seen San Diego's kicker struggle. And speaking of San Diego, they have lost 4 straight, and they need to keep their fingers crossed so they can win this week, because they can still make the playoffs if they can somehow beat the Hot Shots. That's a knee taken right there. So Perez and company at their own 25-yard line to start this drive. And Birmingham right now with a golden opportunity to lock up the number 1 seed, get home field advantage for the playoffs, which would be massive. We'll see if they can pull it off. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. On the end around, they go to Quentin Patton, and he'll pick up 7 yards on the play, and that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. It's been a fun one so far. A lot of running by both Trent Richardson and Dearness Johnson. It is 3-3 here in Birmingham. Second quarter coming on up, and I like that play call right there by Tim Lewis. Probably expecting a run to Trent Richardson, but instead it's Patton coming out of the backfield. Well, not out of the backfield, but around for a little jet sweep action. Sets him up at 2nd and 3. You've got a lot of options now in the first play of the second quarter. Second and 3. Off play action, Perez with time, and now checks it out to his wide receiver Patton, who's close to a first down, but not quite there. It'll bring up 3rd and inches. Great defense by the Apollos. Cody Riggs in there on the tackle to keep him from getting to the sticks. Quentin Patton's also had a relatively quiet season when it comes to numbers. He's not talked about a whole lot, but he's put up some decent numbers. 287 yards and 3 touchdowns. 3rd and inches. Perez will throw. Pressure. Has to let it go. Quick he does, and that's complete. Wes Saxon on the reception up at the 38, and that moves the chains for the Iron. Saxon, his first catch of the day, and of course he's already over 600 yards in the season. Today, an opportunity to continue to build upon his legendary season as a tight end. He leads all tight ends when it comes to receiving yards with, again, 606. The closest tight end to him would be Gerald Christian with 521, who plays for Arizona next week. So Christian would have to have an absolute monster game, and Saxon would have to do next to nothing throughout the rest of this game to not come out on top. 1st and 10, off play action. Perez rolling out down the sidelines, is knocked away. Looking for Patton, but excellent defense. There's Cody Riggs, a guy that, again, is going to get his name called quite a bit. Excellent defender. Had 2 interceptions last week. Really shut down what could have been a big game for the Fleet. 2nd and 10 now from the 38-yard line. And Trent Richardson gets blown up in the backfield. What a play by Reggie Northrup. And he's just going to break right through. Not a chance. Big 3rd and 13 coming up right now for the Iron, who looked like they had a pretty decent drive going, and now backed up. 3rd and 13. A rare loss of yards for Trent Richardson. Perez zips it, and it is caught in stride. First down and then some. Jamal Robinson down to the Apollos 42-yard line. It's a gain of 23. Robinson's first catch of the day, and let's see someone like that get involved. He's definitely one of the role players there on offense, and if he can just simply do his job and create those plays when they need them, Birmingham will be in good shape. He might not be the big names such as LaDamian Washington or Trent Richardson, but don't sleep on Jamal Robinson, an excellent wide receiver with a pretty impressive skill set. 1st and 10 coming up from the 42-yard line. Birmingham in business. Perez back to throw again. Short pass, it's caught. That's Saxon inside the 40 to the 39. Perez looking pretty sharp so far. 6 of 8 with 53 yards. The Iron, a well-balanced offensive attack so far to start things off. Second and 6 from the 39. Back to throw is Perez. Got a man wide open as Robinson turns the corner but cannot get to the sticks. And will bring up 3rd and 1. Robinson sneaky across the middle. Perez, and this is what I'm talking about with Luis Perez. Like back in the first few weeks, he really struggled finding his guys in stride and rhythm, making the right decisions. And there, excellent decision. Just get rid of the football, get a few guaranteed yards, no need to do something crazy, and it pays off well. 3rd and 1, Perez with the lane if he wants it. And now, over the top, and it is caught. unbelievable throw and catch. Quentin Patton takes it into the red zone to the 17-yard line. What a hell of a throw from Perez. Over the top, drops in the bucket of Patton, who then gets hit pretty hard by Mark Myers, but hangs on. And I really thought Perez could have taken, he definitely could have taken off right there, picked up the first down, but he stood in the pocket, waited an extra couple seconds, and instead it's a big gain into the red zone. We near the 5-minute mark here in this first half. 1st and 10 for the Iron. There goes Richardson. Met immediately at the line of scrimmage, nowhere for him to go, and the Apollo's defense doing a good job of locking him down since those first couple of big gains. Second and 9 going to be coming up for the Apollos. Quick screen, and that goes nowhere. LaDainian Washington blown up immediately, and now Birmingham risking having to settle for another shorter field goal after what looked like a pretty dang good drive. This Apollo defense, they're tough to score on in the red zone. 3rd and 10 coming up for this squad. See what the call is from Tim Lewis. 3rd and 10. Perez backing up. He's got a man and is knocked away. Great defense once again. Knocked away, and Saxon cannot bring it in. That's Keith Reeser getting his hands in there, knocking it away from the tight end, and right there Perez needs to throw that a bit more to the outside because Reeser has an opportunity to get inside and knock that ball away. If he throws it a little bit to the outside, Saxon is going to be the first to get there. 4th and 10, and Nick Novak coming out for another field goal, his second of the half. 34-yard attempt. It's up. It's good. 6-3, the trusty leg of Nick Novak. He is excellent, especially on these shorter range attempts. 6-3 lead for Birmingham. So the Iron not able to get in the end zone on either drive, but they still come over with points, and they've got the lead going into the second half. Well, not going into the second half, but getting close. Excuse me. Kevin Anderson got his team in the field goal range in the first drive. We'll see what he can do here on the second drive. Oh, these have been 3 very long drives. We're 3.5 minutes left in the first half on just 3 drives. Usually at this point, we've got at least 5 or 6 under our belt. No turnovers. Pretty clean game so far as well. Akeem Hunt will take a knee in the end zone. So Orlando, they will get the football at the 25-yard line. Out comes Dearness Johnson, who was leading the way for his team on that opening drive. Some important gains set him up in field goal range. See if they can get a touchdown here. They'll be getting the football for half, so even a field goal set him up in nice shape. First down coming up. We'll see what Steve Spurrier decides to call. Kevin Anderson, just his second drive of the day. Threw a nice pass to the end zone. Campbell just knocked it away. First down. Anderson with time. Cross the middle, man wide open in stride as Charles Johnson, his first catch of the day, takes it up to the 50. So Kevin Anderson, a couple of nice throws here in the opening stages of this game. This is a beauty. And looks like an easy throw because he's got a wide open Johnson, but finding his man in stride is not the easiest thing to do. We've seen so many quarterbacks, including Garrett Gilbert, miss these types of throws during the season. So love to see Anderson coming in, making that important throw. Gets in the midfield already. Gives him plenty of time with 3 timeouts left. Trying to make something happen. First and 10. Go on the ground with blockers. It's Johnson, but the blockers can't get there in time. Johnson's ripped down after a gain of 1. Good defense by Birmingham, making it difficult for him to get to the outside. Tim Lewis, I mean, this defense, talked about before, just the attitude they have, the toughness, the grit. They're a hard defense to score on, and that was made obvious last week when Arizona couldn't even find the end zone. 2nd and 9. Johnson again. Taken down at the 46. It's a gain of 3. We'll set up 3rd and 6 as we will hit the 2-minute warning here in Birmingham. 2 minutes left to go in the opening half. 6-3 lead for the Iron. Kind of rainy, cooler atmosphere today in Birmingham. Both these teams slugging it out to see who will get the number 1 seed in the East Division. The number 1 seed, again, already locked up for Salt Lake in the West, but still up for grabs for either Orlando or Birmingham, depending on who wins this game. Back to throw. Anderson backing up, in trouble. Has to let it fly. He will. Deep down the field, and it's knocked away. A nice pass to Jalen Marshall, who cannot hang on. And that'll bring up 4th and 6. And they're out of field goal range. That would be a 63-yard field goal attempt. Don't think they'd attempt it in this rain. And this is honestly a nicely done job here by Anderson. But it's the hard hit from Jamar Summers that ultimately ends this drive. Actually, excuse me, that's White. Fourth and 6. Ben Turk will punt it away, and it is a very short kick. Birmingham will have it at the 21-yard line. It only goes 25 yards, and now the Iron with a chance here in the minute 46 and 3 timeouts to try to make something happen, get some more points on the board here. So tough ending to that drive for the Apollos. Drop pass from Marshall. Quentin Patton, we've seen him involved today with a few nice grabs. He's doing his thing. First and 10. Perez back to throw. Across the middle, it's knocked away. Great defense by Ladarius Gunner. Gets his hand in there. Forces the incompletion. It brings up 2nd and 10 for this Iron group. Second down. Haven't seen a whole lot of LaDainian Washington yet. And there's a pass across the middle. That's Robinson who takes it to the 36. It's a gain of 15. Birmingham moves the chains, but they'll have to keep it snappy. Time is of the essence. Nice job of just finding Robinson wide open across the middle. He has to reach back for it, but able to grab it. First down coming up from the 36, but time is certainly becoming a factor here. Nearing a minute left on the clock. High snap. They give it to Trent Richardson. Interesting decision, and he only picks up 3, so that's not really going to pay off for the Iron as time continues to run. They're going to have to blow a timeout here at some point. Probably will happen in a few seconds here. And it will. So Birmingham uses a timeout. They've only got 2 remaining. Up 6-3 with a minute and 1 second left to play in this opening half of football. Luis Perez, he's been pretty good today. Confident in the pocket. See if he can just put a few nice throws in here. Get his Iron back in the field goal range before this half is over. Perez back to throw. Quick pass, and it is eaten up immediately. And they'll have to use another timeout. I don't think that's at all how Tim Lewis imagined that playing out of his head. And I think Perez just quickly had to let go of it to Saxon, who was eaten up alive by Ladarius. Actually, Will Hill, the safety. Will Hill, he just flies in all over the place. 3rd and 8 from the 37. Perez to throw. With time in the pocket. Deep down the field. Man, wide open, it's Saxton. Takes it inside the 30 to the 28. How did he get that wide open? I don't know. But time is becoming a factor here. Time ticking down. 30 seconds left to play. They got 1 timeout left. Perez back to throw. Zips it to the sidelines. It's caught by Patton, and he gets out of bounds. They're all the way down to the 11. Quentin Patton with 46 yards in this first half. And Perez, how about the job he is doing on 3rd and 8, finding Saxon way down the field, and now a perfect pass threads the needle to Patton. The execution couldn't be any better, folks. Some high-quality football right there. Definitely gets both feet down before being pushed out of bounds. 1st and 10 now at the 11. You've got a chance to run 1, maybe 2 plays here. Call a timeout. Set up for a field goal or get in the end zone, depending on what happens on these plays. 1st and 10. Perez to throw. Go to the end zone. Wide open, and he cannot drop it in the bucket to LaDainian Washington. That's tough. Perez, he definitely rushed that throw. He had another second in the pocket there. Washington was wide open going to that corner. 2nd and 10. Back to throw is Perez. Once again, end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, and who else but Wes Saxton to make the grab, and Birmingham goes up 12-3 with 12 seconds left to play in his opening half. And this is just a perfect throw here from Luis Perez, finding a wide open Wes Saxton. This time he puts the throw not too far inside because Ladarius Gunner can't get to it. Nicely done. And the Iron, home crowd loving it. They're now up by 9 points and a chance to add 2 more with this 2-point conversion attempt. Expect to see Trent Richardson maybe get the ball here to the inside. Perez will throw. Back of the end zone, but he was out of bounds. Washington stepped out of bounds, did not get back in, and that'll be an incomplete pass. 2-point conversion, no good. So Steve Spurrier. So yeah, again, a little bit of an interesting approach here by Spurrier. Not necessarily playing completely to win because he's stuck in his backup, Kevin Anderson, over Garrett Gilbert, who, when asked about whether or not he was a little disappointed that didn't play, he said that he's got full trust in Steve Spurrier to make the right decisions, and he said he'll be ready for next week when these teams face off once again with the playoffs on the line. Playoffs on the line because it is the playoffs. So 12-3 lead for the Iron right now, looking to lock up the number 1 seed, go 7-3. Meanwhile, Orlando would drop to 5-5 if they lose this game, but if Orlando wins this game, comes back in the second half, that'll be a 6-4 tie, and they would have the conference edge over the Iron. Novak finally kicks it away. That was quite a long intermission there. And he'll take a knee. So 12 seconds left for Orlando to try a little something here before the half comes to a close. But Wes Saxton, that is his 4th touchdown of the season. And with some of these catches, definitely over 650 yards in the day. So just putting the icing on the cake to lock up the number 1 position all year, tight end. 1st and 10, they just go on the ground. It's Johnson. He'll be taken down, and that'll take us to halftime. Spurrier just playing it safe, no need to try anything crazy. And we'll see if his backup quarterback can lead the charge in the second half. 12-3 lead for the Iron. Looking pretty good at home right now. Look at the passing yard difference there. And we're going to go ahead and just skip this halftime report, save some time, and get right back into action here in Birmingham. 12-3 lead. Iron on top. Orlando decided to go with their off-brand gray uniforms in this game because they plan on wearing the whiteout for the playoffs. Pretty good decision, if you ask me. Novak sends it away. Second half is underway. Akeem Hunt once again takes a knee in the end zone. So the rain continues to come down in Birmingham. So here it comes. Jarvis Johnson, Charles Johnson, Kevin Anderson, this whole unit Missing a big piece in Garrett Gilbert, but Kevin Anderson has not looked too bad. He's thrown a couple nice passes that have been dropped. Hasn't made any bad decisions yet. But still has to find a way to get into a rhythm here and get his offense some points. We'll see what Steve Spurrier dials up here. Try to get things going for his group that only put up 3 points in the first half. Off play action, and he is decked. Jonathan Mazakoué on the blitz and the sack. What a play by that linebacker, who's had a couple of excellent plays this season, and there's definitely one that'll get onto the highlight reel. Anderson doesn't even have a chance to set his feet. Swallowed up by Mazakoué, and Birmingham's defense comes right out of the gate with a big play. 9-yard loss sets up 2nd and 19 now. Back in their own red zone at the 16. And once again, the backfield penetration. Casey Sales in there first. And Birmingham swallowing up these Orlando offensive players in the backfield. Johnson nowhere to go. Excellent work. I don't know if you guys maybe can see this or not, but get out of here. Alright. Little notification on my computer, excuse me. 3rd and 19 now from the 16. Anderson. What can he do? Blitz. Finds a man open across the middle, but chased down from behind. Casey Sales taken down Marshall. What a tackle. Marshall would have maybe had a chance if he could break a tackle there, but no, it's Casey Sales, the defensive end, who catches up to the speedy wide receiver and makes a tackle. Fourth and 9. Ben Turk on there punted away as the Apollo's offense quick 3 and out to open up this second half. On the return is Quan Bray, speedy wide receiver, who's taken down at the 43-yard line. So Birmingham with great field position for their first drive of this third quarter. Perez coming back out onto the field. Look at those stats, 14 of 19, 152 yards and a touchdown. Doesn't get any better than that, and that's exactly what you love to see from your starting quarterback, who's had some ups and downs this season, really turned it around the second half of the year, and now playing at a high level as we head into the playoffs. And some might be thinking like, oh boy, Perez is wasting a good performance here in a game that doesn't matter so much. But hey, a good performance is a good performance. You start playing good, then you always play good. You get yourself into a rhythm. And Perez doing a nice job of that. 1st and 10 from the 43, rips it across the middle. Man, wide open again. Quentin Patton all the way down to the 21. This air raid has been ridiculous the last few plays for the Iron. Unstoppable. Right off the bat, Perez goes to play action, and they're getting whatever they want on this Apollo's defense. What a play by Patton. Just wide open on that deep cross. Perez, again, how about the job by Perez to find him streaking across the middle in stride, turns it upfield. Can't do it any better. Richardson on the ground. A big hole for the running back. Picks up 5. Takes him into the red zone. 2nd and 4. Second down coming up for the Iron. Back to throw. Perez. Cross the middle. In stride. Touchdown. Quentin Patton gets into the end zone. He's up over 90 yards in the day. And that is a touchdown for the wide receiver. Birmingham just continuing to pile on the points here. A barrage. And they're up by 15. Another excellent throw by Perez in stride, finding Patton, who's able to get right into the end zone. You cannot dial it up any better than that, and Tim Lewis has got to love what he's seeing right now. Birmingham in control. Quentin Patton having a monster day. Couldn't have come at a better time for this Iron group, looking to lock up that number 1 seed. And again, and then if they're 7-3, gives them a chance to really lock up the number 1 seed throughout the playoffs. And the 2-point try is good. It's West Saxton. Who else? 20-3 lead for the Iron. And this was a very close game up until the last couple of drives. A big touchdown drive. And Tim Lewis, boy, is he hyped. Again, simple delivery. Saxton's wide open. This Orlando defense really struggling. And Steve Spurrier's going to have to figure out what to do, because regardless of whether or not Garrett Gilbert is in, if there's no way for them to stop Luis Perez in this air attack while having Trent Richardson in the backfield as well, I mean, what are you going to do? 20 points already in this game, 14 on the last 2 drives alone for the Iron. And Akeem Hunt will take a knee in the end zone. Orlando's going to be in trouble if they cannot figure out how to stop this Iron offensive attack. Charles Johnson had an opportunity to score a touchdown a couple drives ago. Couldn't hang on. Great defense by Elijah Campbell. And now Kevin Anderson got to try to come up with something here. He's only thrown the ball a few times today. Orlando really has not had the ball in their hands much at all, just generally speaking. Birmingham with these long drives that are just paying off right now in the second half. Kevin Anderson, gotta give him credit here. Tough environment to be in, especially in the first start. 1st and 10. And once again, Johnson goes nowhere in the backfield, losing yardage. Bradley Silve in there to blow it up. That's a loss to 3. So this entire second half has just been negative gains for Orlando, with a sack, a couple of losses on the ground. The Birmingham defense playing at an incredibly high level right now. And this is what they're capable of. I mean, again, they shut down Arizona last week, and now, once again, shutting down Orlando. They're missing Garrett Gilbert, but regardless, they are keeping them contained. 2nd and 13. On the ground they go again. Johnson up to the 25, and now you're starting to wonder. It's 3rd and 10. You run the ball on 2nd and 13. Is Steve Spurrier just trying to play it safe here? Is he already accepting defeat and looking ahead to the postseason, or is he going to try to make a comeback here? There's plenty of time left. You win this game, you win the division. So I don't understand why they're not playing with more intensity, and that's going to be a false start. It's just sloppy play. Sloppiness, uncharacteristic, but has been a problem some of these games for Orlando, and that's a big false start. That now 3rd and 15. Third down. Back to throw. Anderson with time. Letting it go deep down the field. Into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off and room to run. Jack Tocho, the safety, makes the play and takes it to the 50-yard line. And Birmingham, this crowd is going nuts. Intensity in here, definitely feeling like a playoff game, and Birmingham's going to bring the heat if they end up clinching home field advantage here. And right now, doing a good job of it. 20-3 lead. Anderson just kind of throwing up a prayer on 3rd and 15. There's not a whole lot you can do in that situation. First and 10. And there's Richardson, and there's a big hole. Richardson, first down to the 40. Think he got it. Oh no, they're not going to give it to him. Looked like the ball got ahead. So to bring up 2nd and 1 or 2nd and inches. Regardless, another nice game on the ground. Second and 1. Perez in trouble. What a block. And what a throw to Colin Thompson. Luis Perez putting on a show. And look at this. This is just absolutely spectacular stuff from Trent Richardson, who was able to get in the way and gets tied up with a linebacker who would have had a clear shot. Instead, it's Colin Thompson on the reception. Birmingham looking dominant. Patton in motion. He gets it again around the edge. And this time Orlando swallows him up. That's actually Damian Washington. Excuse me. Brings up 2nd and 7. So Orlando, they lose this game, then they'll have to come back on the road to Birmingham, play him at some point whenever I get around to recording the playoffs. But yeah, I don't like the idea here to just kind of give up, even though you have a chance to claim the division. And there is another big run from Trent Richardson, up over 50 on the day with that one. Brings them into the red zone. And every time Birmingham has been in the red zone today, they've scored. They scored on every drive that they've had the football. Richardson, another huge hole given him by the offensive line. First and 10. Perez, back to throw. Got a man. It's caught. LaDamian Washington down at the 10. So they're not going to give him forward progress. So we'll bring up 2nd and 1. Washington, a couple nice catches here as well. And this Birmingham offense just clicking on all cylinders. Second and 1. Probably we'll see Trent Richardson get the ball here. No, it's play action. He's going to find Saxton, but he is eaten up. Great defense by the Apollos, reading that one all the way. Defense looking good as Will Hill not getting fooled by the play action and swarming to that football along with Reggie Northrup. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1. See what the decision is here from Tim Lewis. Do you go with play action again? Do you just let Perez pass the ball? Or do you give it to your outstanding back who just needs to pick up a yard? They give it to Richardson, and he will be stopped. Not enough time to make a quick move. Instead, he's taken down as Reggie Northrup, who's been involved in the last couple of plays. It looks like Birmingham will have to settle for 3. And Richardson just not able to find his lane. Nice work by Orlando, containing them to a field goal. At least keep this a 3-score game. Nick Novak on for the field goal attempt. 27-yard try. 2 for 2 on the day. And now he has 3 for 3. 23-3 lead for the Iron. $20-point lead for the Iron with just over 1 quarter left to play. Tim Lewis, he's got to love what his team is looking like right now. They're just playing with chemistry, camaraderie, everything you want to see as a head coach. $23-3 lead. Orlando will now have about a quarter to try to cut into it. Can Kevin Anderson find a way to get it done for his team? Coming off an interception on the last drive. We'll see. Akeem Hunt, he'll take a knee. Here comes Anderson. 3 of 7, 44 yards and an interception on the day. Definitely not what he wanted to see in his first start, but you can't blame him. I mean, the interception came on 3rd and 15 where he was kind of stuck just heaving it deep, and it ended up being more like a punt at the end of the day. Couple of drop passes from his receivers. A nice pass in the end zone to Charles Johnson. Just couldn't complete it. So we'll see what he has up his sleeve. I'm sure if he just gets an opportunity here to make some throws, he'll get into a rhythm. 1st and 10. They stick on the ground. It's Johnson. Finally a bit of a lane for Johnson, who was eaten up on the last couple of carries. Brings up 2nd and 4. Time running out here, and just look at that, the passing yard difference there. Birmingham well over 200, only 35 for Orlando if you're looking at sacks included. 2nd and 4, but that'll take us to the 4th quarter. 3 down, 1 to go in Birmingham. The Iron are 1 quarter away from locking up the #1 seed and finishing the season 7-3, which would be quite the record to end it with. I think that'd be 3 straight wins for them to close it out if I'm doing my math correctly here. Let me just take a look at the schedule. Yes, it would be. They beat Atlanta week 8, 30-20. They beat Arizona 12-3 in week 9. You go into the playoffs with a big week 10 win against Orlando. We'll see what happens. 2nd and 4. Anderson, quick pass, it's caught. I just realized something. Oh my gosh. This game was supposed to be in Orlando. Well, I apologize for this mistake on my part for reading this wrong. 1st and 10, Anderson with the completion. See what he can do. Quick pass, dumps it off. There's Marshall, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Getting getting Kevin Anderson into a bit of rhythm. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted right now. I don't know how I missed that. Yeah, Orlando was supposed to be home for this game. So, whoops. Home field advantage doesn't necessarily play into these Madden simulations, so thankfully it's not going to be unfair, but that's my fault, guys. I am sorry about that. 2nd and 4. Quick pass, slide and grab. Charles Johnson, 1st down. Wait, he dropped it? Never mind. 3rd and 4. I felt like I was in a nice groove recording here for a while, and now this has kind of messed me up. I apologize, folks. At least this is kind of a game that doesn't necessarily... This is the one game that I can't afford to mess up on, so how about that? 3rd and 4 from the 43. Anderson with time. Pressure. Let's it go. Deep down the field. Wide open. In stride. That's Charles Johnson all the way down to the 26. Kevin Anderson nearing 100 yards on the day. Charles Johnson with a big reception. And this is a perfectly thrown football as Anderson gets it over the linebackers, sits it in underneath the defenders, and was given quite a wide open area to throw it into thanks to Charles Johnson and his route running abilities. That's 2 catches now for 56 yards on the day. First and 10. Anderson with time. Quick pass. It's caught. Sean Price, the tight end, finally gets involved, and he'll take it to the 15-yard line. First and 10 coming up for the Apollos, and looks like they played an extra road game this season on accident. I apologize. Almost intercepted. Looking for Sean Price again, and that was knocked away by Benequez Brown. Second and 10. Second and 10. All play action. Anderson swings it out. But that's going to go nowhere. Johnson taken down back at the 17. Brings up 3rd and 11. Anderson struggling these last couple of plays to get the ball moving in a forward direction. Elijah Campbell eats it up. 3rd and 11. This might be the Apollo's last chance to score a touchdown today. Will they find a way to get it done? Down by 20. Excuse me. Anderson to throw. Deep into the end zone and way out of play. That'll bring up 4th and 11. Tough miss from Anderson trying to get it in over the top and just put too much air under it. Looking for Marshall, but good coverage by Birmingham. And now they're going to decide to go for it here on 4th and 11. Down by 20. I guess why not? Anderson steps up in the pocket. Has to let it go. He will. Towards the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, Orlando. Sean Price with the reception. That's his 5th touchdown of the season. And Anderson able to get a touchdown here in the 4th quarter. Love to see it. Definitely a confidence booster for him on 4th and 11, finding Price. And this game's not over quite yet. 23-9 with 6:16 left to play. There's still time for a miracle. Anything could happen. 2-point try right now for the Apollos to make it a 12-point game. They go to Johnson. He's eaten up. It's been like that for most of the day for Johnson. Benequez Brown does not let that get by him. 23-9 with 6:16 left. And Steve Spurrier definitely a bit disappointed. Still a 14-point game. Can Orlando's defense get a stop is the big question right now. Birmingham has scored on all 5 of their drives. 3 field goals and 2 touchdowns. $23-9 lead. I can't believe I messed that up. I think that's the first time I've ever done that, accidentally mixing up the home and away teams, but oh well. Sends it away, back to receive. Quan Bray takes a knee. And I'm curious to check. Did I maybe mix up Orlando being home in week 5? Or because I thought I remember playing Orlando at home, but maybe I don't know. I guess I just mix it up. Perez back out on the field with his squad. Up by 14, 6 minutes left to play. Opportunity here for them to lock up the number 1 seed. I'll just say that there was a COVID outbreak in Orlando. COVID outbreak, so they had to play the game in Birmingham. That's what it's going to be. 23-9 on the ground. Richardson barreling over defenders. Takes it up to the 30-yard line. 12 carries, 62 yards for him. He's having a nice looking day. Just an average day for Trent Richardson. Over double the amount of passing yards there for Birmingham, who again, just dominating today. 2nd and 5 from the 30. Back on the ground, Richardson, first down. Up to the 36. Time continues to run. Birmingham can really start milking it right now. If they can just keep getting these 5 to 6 yard gains with Trent Richardson, they're in good shape. Five minutes to play. First down. Richardson again. Cuts it to the outside. Spins. Almost gets away, but taken down after a gain of 6. 2nd and 4 from the 43. Second and 4. Richardson again, another first down. They're just running the rock. And it's paying off. Josh Banks on that tackle. 1st and 10, coming up from the 48, just about to midfield. We're under 4 minutes to play. Washington in motion, not going to get it. It's Richardson again, and this time he is swarmed. Good defense there by Orlando. It brings up 2nd and 8. Marquez White with the tackle. Second down. Tim Lewis doing a great job of just having his team march down the field every single time. They're in control. They play like this next week, they're definitely going to the championship. Birmingham not able to go anywhere there. Orlando uses a timeout. It's 23-9. 2:50 left to play. 3rd and 9 coming up for Perez, and probably going to see them pass it here. Just try to pick up a first down, and then they can really put the nails in the coffin on this one. Perez to throw, blitz from Orlando. He gets decked. What a sack in the backfield by Orlando. That's going to force the first punt of the day for the Iron. Hell of a play. Spurrier dialing up the blitz. And that gives Orlando a chance here to get the ball back. Colton Schmidt on to boot it away for the Iron. And they're going to let this one bounce, and it takes a great Birmingham bounce down at the 8. Colton Schmidt does it again. He's had a few phenomenal punts this season, and there is another beauty. The Buffalo Bill alumni playing here for Birmingham in the AAF Simulated. 1st and 10 going to be coming up from the 8-yard line for Kevin Anderson, who was able to get his first touchdown on that previous drive. 4th and 11 finds Sean Price. First and 10 from the 8-yard line. Back to throw. Anderson, quick pass. It's caught. Jalen Marshall down at the 14. Anderson's really starting to find that rhythm here. He's making some nice passes. I know he's had some errant throws, but again, it's a backup quarterback. It's his first start coming in week 10, so he's doing a pretty good job. Second and 4 coming up for Anderson and company. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 23-9. Birmingham just has 2 minutes to hold on to this lead, and they will be 7-3, lock up the number 1 seed, and be home as well. It would be kind of funny if I end up playing it in Orlando to make up for this, but no need. It's not the biggest deal. 2nd and 4. Anderson. Across the middle, it's caught, and how about the move? Sean Price takes it to the 36. He's now got 50 yards on the day. Price gets open and then spins away from the defender. First down for Orlando. Anderson, back to throw, quick pass, it's caught. Chris Thompson taken down to 42. Thompson has been a guy, he caught one of the first passes from Garrett Gilbert of the season, all the way back against Atlanta in week 1.
Hey, let's go. Get set. Like 25.
2nd and 4. Anderson in trouble, and down he goes. Devin Taylor with the sack. Birmingham makes it a 3rd and 13. Putting the icing on the cake on this one. And Anderson's just got to get rid of that football in that situation. 3rd and 13. Anderson zips it across the middle. It's intercepted. Picked off by Benequez Brown. And that will put the capper on this one. Benequez Brown once again leading the way here for this Birmingham defense. Been an outstanding linebacker. Gets the interception. He's got several tackles on the day. Brown taking care of business for the Iron. And here comes the offense back out on the field to put the end caps on a great day. Dominant 23-9 victory. Takes a knee. Atlanta will blow their last time out for whatever reason. 2nd and 11 from the 46. This should be the last kneel necessary here to end this game and to close year 1 of the AAF Simulated for both of these teams. Perez takes a knee. Birmingham on their way, closing the season 7-3 with 3 straight wins, locking up the number 1 seed in their division. What a year it was for Tim Lewis and his Birmingham Iron. And that does it. The Iron win it at home 23-9. They got an extra home game. My bad. Steve Spurrier loses. Kevin Anderson not able to get the job done there in his first start. But we'll see Garrett Gilbert next week, and that is definitely going to be a fun matchup. Seeing Perez and Garrett Gilbert go at it. Perez playing with such high confidence right now, and you love to see it. Big win. Birmingham will host Orlando in the first week of the playoffs when those East teams battle it out to see who makes it to the championship game. 23-9 is our final from Birmingham. Thank you so much for tuning into this game. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to record. Despite it not having a huge amount of significance on the end of the season, still love watching some fun AAF Simulated action. If you don't already, go subscribe to this channel right now so you don't miss the championship game coming up soon. And next week is going to be epic between San Diego and Arizona. Whichever team wins is in to play Salt Lake in the first round of the playoffs over there. It's going to be so much fun. Make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Twitter to stay updated with everything that's going on. Check out the AAFCs down in the description below. And yeah, that's about all I got for you. Thanks again for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next game.